How you doing, everybody? It's Richard Sansamino here, and what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be taking on the science project tasks. We're going to be going through about 120 different science projects because I know people out there, they get these science projects and sometimes the teachers, they give you the project but they really don't explain them very well. But what we're going to do here at KenExcellence is we're going to break them down so that you can have no problems, so that you can get a good grade. Alright, the first project we're going to discuss is project number 1. I'm sure you've seen it before. It's how much salt does it take to float an egg? Not something that you spend a lot of time thinking about, but something we're going to go through today. Now, there are two key words that you probably learned in your class. The first one is density. The second one is buoyancy. Now, density talks about the mass, or how much the object weighs. And in this case, we're talking about the egg. Okay? So what we're trying to figure out is how we're going to get this egg to float. Okay? The other thing is buoyancy. When you think about buoyancy, you think about the ability of making something float. Okay? Now, there are two key things you're going to need for this project. You're obviously going to need either a bowl or a cup or anything that can carry water. And then you're going to need salt and you're going to need an egg. Now, just a hint. Depending on what kind of bowl, cup you use, it's going to determine the type of salt that you're going to add. So, all you got to do is you get something like this, a cup or a bowl, and you add the egg to it. And you add water. Okay? Not too high because you don't want it to spill over. Then what you do is you take a teaspoon and you start adding teaspoons of salt, making sure that you record how much salt you're adding. So you add the first teaspoon and you mix it up like this. Nothing going on. You add the second teaspoon, you mix it up, nothing going on. The third, the fourth, and the fifth, and suddenly at the sixth teaspoon, the egg starts to float. How does it happen? Well, what's happening is you're displacing the egg's density and creating a buoyancy to lift the egg up to the top. And what you got to do for your project is just record how many teaspoons of salt, and then you'll be in good shape. Very simple, very straightforward. Like I said, a cup, a bowl, salt, and an egg, and a couple of teaspoons of salt, and before you know it, that egg is going to be rising to the top.